Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to the late Apex here from the Apex Racing TV esports studio. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is David Sampson, and we have all the news when it comes to sim racing events at Goodwood this weekend. Project Motor Racing, Assetto Corsa Rally, and plenty of other stuff as well, as of course Apex Racing team heading to Saudi Arabia for the Esports World Cup. We've also got some excellent clips as well when it comes to the GT3 Trophy a couple of days ago. I will give a shout out straight away to our sponsor for this episode, Apex Racing League Endurance 2025. Season starts next Friday. That's 8 days away from the time that we're recording. And so there's not much time to sign up. We've filled almost all the spots, 51 slots filled out of 60. And so if you want to get onto the grid in either the GTP, LMP2 or GT classes, you absolutely should do over apexracingleague.com. Sign up over there before the grid is filled. But David, how are you this Thursday afternoon?
Thursday, I'm good. We'll be saying Friday next week. I'm looking forward to the ARL. Just to bump it one more time, I personally, sponsorship aside, really enjoyed the series. I thought it was a highlight. I got a lot of DMs, people pushing for when it was going to come back, and excited for it. Sponsor free, that one. That message was...
Yeah, that doesn't count. So
no, we only get paid for your bit.
Yeah, and we paid you to do 10 of them as well, but that's like, we've still got 10 to go because that didn't count.
That didn't count.
But yeah, some corporate BS coming up from David later on. Let's first talk about the title for this video, which is about the Esports World Cup, which Apex Racing team have gone to, or Team Mercedes MSI.
It's long. Team Mercedes Esports MSI?
Yeah. Mercedes AMG Esports MSI.
Yeah, it's long.
That's the one. Unfortunately, it wasn't a long campaign for us.
The name was longer.
Yeah. By the time they said our name, we were out.
Yeah, it was obviously, we're laughing, but the guys must be absolutely mortified. It's a lot of miles, a lot of prep, and yeah, unfortunately, we went home by lunchtime day one.
Yeah, it's a tough format. So basically, the way that it works is at the top, you had 12 teams to start off with. The top 3 got through into like the final stage automatically. The bottom 3 got dropped. Then you have 6 remaining. Those 6 gets dropped into 2 different groups, and then whoever scores the fewest points out of those 6 teams gets eliminated straight away.
Yeah.
So we were eliminated straight away, unfortunately, and we're not able to take part. So that's 3 races we took part in, and yeah, it was not a very long campaign for us. It was pretty cool though to see a couple of the images though.
Yeah, for sure. The media day did look cool.
Yeah, I think we'll have a few more stuff to release about that, but yeah, their staging and stuff was very good. It looked like they got some funny photos as well.
Yeah, I saw some.
Yeah, it was unlucky for us. So in terms of the last chance, just what I was explaining before. So unfortunately, we got 55 points, Mercedes AMG Esports Team MSI, and that was lowest. So it's a weird one because Falcons did get through to the round after us, but because they scored more points, even though they were bottom of their group.
Yeah, I think the lowest point score of the day goes home immediate with no... Yeah, I think that was the one caveat that you wanted to avoid.
Yeah. So that then in the race off, Williams managed to get through ahead of Falcons and BS, albeit it was very close.
I mean, we were in a tough group. I mean, they were all tough groups. But yeah, this was on today. This has been a lot of fun to watch, actually. Virtus, Redline, and Coanda.
So what I don't understand how this works. Please explain to me. We've got the upper bracket here. These are the top 3 teams from the online season. And the lower bracket here.
Yeah, I think I'm not 100% sure myself because I've sort of drifted since we didn't get through. But I think one team from the lower bracket is going to have to race again. So I think Coanda will have to go again for their last chance against the lower bracket
the
teams.
Top team in this.
I think both.
But
yeah, I think so. That TBD will be Coanda.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, the upper bracket's going on. So Virtus and Redline sort of go through, and Coanda are going to have to. I think it's going on right now. Are going to have to muscle their way through with.
That makes sense with Williams and Vitality.
Yeah, and obviously, what makes it fun to watch is what racing format. Where do you have 3 teams? Sorry, 12 drivers, but 4 from each team. So it's crazy to watch the tactics. The tactics are a little different to what we're used to watching,
especially with no damage.
Correct. Yeah. Obviously, there are stewarding, and I think stewarding is what decided Mao's going home. Like there was some shake up in the points. But yeah, I've enjoyed the watch. Obviously, I wish it was Apex I was watching or Mercedes AMG Esport MSI. But it is what it is. It's tough. Like there is no, like I said, tough group. There's no easy group.
No.
You're not going to find yourself in a group where you're like, oh, okay, easy wins.
Yeah, it's tough. So yeah, disappointing on that one. But yeah, do tune in for the other races because yeah, I think particularly on the in the final on Saturday. I think Saturday is the last day.
Yeah.
Or is it tomorrow? Maybe Saturday is the last day. I certainly know that they're flying back
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, they're coming back on Sunday. So yeah, should be fun on that one, and hopefully the guys enjoy. Apparently they're playing paddle, so that's.
It's all the rage. I've never played it. I played ping pong.
We've got paddle courts in Corby.
Okay.
We'll go one day.
Let's do that.
Yeah. I think it's a good sport. Let us know in chat if you enjoy paddle, as it's apparently meant to be called. Anything more you wanted to say on the Esports World Cup?
No, I mean, let's see what blossoms from it, because that's always the question with Red Sport, and I mean, obviously, it's hard to disconnect the game from the tournament, because I feel like ESL and the Esports World Cup and all these events are Rensport. I don't know if you feel that there is no... We don't talk about Rensport. We talk about the events that Rensport are a part of. So, again, always feels like, what's the running joke with a postal company? They go out of business every night, and in the morning, if they have customers that want parcels being sent, they're back in business.
Sure.
So let's see what happens next with Rensport and where they go from here. Because obviously the doomsayers will tell me every month that it's over.
Yeah.
I can I see where you're coming from. But it's been years now.
Yeah.
So let's see. It's been a fun watch. The broadcast quality has been insane. They keep stepping it up. When they said there was no veracity and all that, I was like, she was brilliant. But this has been brilliant. Like, I can leave it on, and I'm into esports and sim racing, so it's been like I say, love or hate Rensport, the broadcast has been a good watch.
Yeah, it's always been good, that. Moving on to some of the sim racing news, Seb Job has got a cool gig coming up. So, of course, he's been racing. He recently won the Gold Cup in Spa 24 in real life, and now his next thing is that he's driving the 2012 Red Bull F1 car at Goodwood, which is quite cool. It's
Really
on
good,
this Sunday.
Because this on top of what he did recently with Red Bull, that whole
Yeah, he's already
series.
driven he's already driven an F1 car, hasn't he?
Insane, yeah.
And
'Cause he went through the whole, I forget if it was like Porsche Cup
Yeah.
and then Formula 3. I don't know, I'm making it up,
Yeah.
but he went through a tier system. It was a really good watch. Yeah, exciting for him. Exciting for, yeah, it's crazy watching sim races in real cars. I still won't get used to it. Like the whole red line livery in GT Endurance and stuff. It just blows my mind that that's a sim racing livery.
Yeah.
It does make it more appealing for me to watch, though. I don't know about you. Like,
Absolutely.
Even if someone's not a red line fan, you're like, whoa.
Well, it's all about all sports are about the competitors, right? It's you need to have that attachment to the people
Correct.
who are involved. That's why F1 is so successful, I think, because it's 20 people, so you can pay a lot of attention to these 20 people. Plus, I guess a few of like the team principals and stuff. And yeah, like when you know someone,
100%
sort of is in it.
So I can relate back when I was living in America, and I got to know a lot of the manufacturers, teams, drivers, quite a lot of people. IMSA, I went to a lot of IMSA, and I was hooked. Like, it was my favorite format on the planet. Watched my first WEC race, and to me, I was just, even though I technically prefer WEC, I was just cold.
Sure.
I didn't know anyone, anything, didn't know any relationship to the manufacturers or the sponsors, nothing. I was just observing a race.
Yeah.
Completely different when you're cheering on or knowing, like, I don't know. But yeah, like what you said, it's insane how hooked you can get when you're that little bit involved.
Definitely. There's some other stuff as well at Goodwood this weekend. Project Motor Racing have some rigs available to use. So they've got the Panos and they've got the Aston Martin ready to drive. And you can meet Johnny Herbert and Ben Collins as well. They'll be milling about.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. They're allowing rigs as well, test rigs, various cars. The whole Project Motor Racing. I'm excited about Project Motor Racing. Every week, it feels like we used to cover LMU every week, but now they're like mainstream and sorted and have an audience base. We talk about them less. But yeah, Project Motor Racing at Goodwood. We know a few things as well. We might as well merge the news because you were writing things about Goodwood and I was writing things about Project Motor Racing, and the two became one. We got a look at Zolder. Let's have a look. Good track. We got a few pictures.
It gets quite a lot of sim racing coverage, doesn't it? I mean, obviously it's in ACC as well because I guess it hosts a round of the European GT series.
Yes, indeed. So that's the slow chicane. I mean, they may add other layouts, but that looks like the slow chicane, right?
I don't think the alternate chicane exists.
Okay.
I think it's like an escape road, basically. I don't think it's an actual layout.
And the other thing they got, I don't know if we've already reported on this. I don't
think we have, but it feels inevitable that it was going to be included.
Correct. GT4s and their associated BOP. Picture of the Aston. What track is that?
That looks like Zolder to me, but I could be wrong.
Then we got some onboard pictures. The Audi GT4. We don't have that in. Wait.
No, we don't have the Audi GT4. No.
Nice.
I guess, do they even exist anymore? I don't know. Obviously, Audi pulled out a lot.
I don't know if Audi GT3 exists anymore, but we hang on to that. Yeah, they mentioned the BOP. Obviously, they had to, right? Restrictors, boost pressure, weight through ballast, ride height to equalize lap times across a diverse field of GT4s. And obviously, they're mentioning there, like, this game is a 1.0 when it comes out, but we're just being teased information. It's not like they're actually just building this. I assume they're not building it last minute.
Yeah. They're drip feeding it as which is I think a good way of doing stuff.
Yes, 100%.
It makes it look like they're doing stuff rather than releasing everything that you got and then spending 6 months and everyone's thinking, well, what have they been doing?
Yeah, I went to Goodwood a couple of years ago and I thought it was awesome. But if I got to try out. What is it they're testing? The Panos, the Aston Martin visitors can meet Johnny Herbert, Ben Collins, and yeah, there's a few test rigs. I always found though, whenever I tested a rig like I think not maybe Sebring, it's like 100 degrees Celsius. The poor PC is just dying. The last thing it wants to do is high refresh rate gaming. You can just hear it like, I can't. Like, guys, I'm almost at max temp, and we haven't started the game yet. I'm always amazed they can even run.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good opportunity to test it. Obviously, we had that recently with the Le Mans Ultimate guys, with the VR company. God, I asked without notes. I can't remember anything. What's the name?
Pimax?
Pimax, yes, with Pimax at Le Mans, where you could test drive the Aston Martin GTP, which was looked really cool, actually, from the footage. Although, I have watched a ton of footage since, so this is a good comeback now. They had the settings on, like, max easy mode, all the assist. So the pros or the good drivers that got to try out couldn't really... feel it.
Yeah, that's always the case.
And I get it, because, they want people to jump in like, wow, this is good, and I'm a race driver.
I could do this.
I could do this. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, so cool to see.
Moving on to Assetto Corsa.
Now,
Some rumours, a few quotes I saw about
now,
the potential for rallying.
This is a grab, obviously, on the... It all started when they showed the open terrain Nordschleife and the fact you didn't have to stay on the roads. So people were intrigued because modelling the dirt and grass is, when you do this, you mostly do it for... I mean, like in iRacing, ACC, we don't... We have the rally stuff in iRacing. In other games, it's usually just applied as grip loss, or slip, making it more difficult to drive. But modelling grass, mud, dirt properly, and obviously Assetto Corsa, the original, had a big modding community, much like the BeamNG community does. So yes, back to this. They aren't ruling it out. I don't think there's a direct quote that it'll be part of Evo.
Yeah. So one of the things that they have said, I think, in the past, and they've reiterated here, is that they believe that Rally deserves a dedicated product, but we've never closed that door. So perhaps with the engine that they have, they could develop Rally properly, but perhaps in a different game to Assetto Corsa Evo.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it's saturated the market. Like, you have the big console rally games. Is there a market for a PC hobbyist sim racing? I don't know.
But would it be PC? Seeing that Assetto Corsa Evo is coming to console anyway, like...
I don't know. I mean, WRC, all these big games, they're huge, right? They are... It's like trying to compete with the F1 game, doing a Formula racing game. I don't know how much money's in it. I mean, we always wonder why BeamNG haven't gone full-fledged or why other sims haven't gone full-fledged. I don't know. It's not a market I've ever delved in. I mean, I've had iRacing for years. I own all the cars and all the tracks. I think I've done one rally official, so I just really don't know this world.
Like, it was actually crazy how big Rallycross became, I think, in like 20... Was it end of 2019? I feel like it was pre-COVID. But people were watching it in real life. I remember Project Cars 2 had it. And that was a pull factor for a lot of people to buy Project Cars 2. And obviously then iRacing added it. It was quite big for a while, but it hasn't really sustained when it comes to that. One of the boxes this lap talk about, the potential for rallying in Assetto Corsa Evo. And I think we probably mentioned this before, but talking about how, because it's an open world, it'd be cool if you could set your own stages for a
here
rally.
To there, via and a time.
Exactly. Yeah. You got to pass these checkpoints.
100%. It would be a huge loss to not. I'm really excited for Assetto Corsa Evo, the open world Nordschleife thing. I can't wait. But we'll see. Feels like we're going to be waiting forever. Although, end of the year, I think, September.
Yeah, fall. Everything's coming out in the fall this year.
Don't let us down.
No.
We'll get a wrapped announcement with some amazing features that has a new date on it. I love that.
Well, it was
I
going
love
to be
that.
released last summer, I think. I think that was the initial
Yeah.
release date. But we'll give them a year. Like, it's all
Yeah.
right to be delayed by a year, but more than that is a bit... yeah, we'll see.
I can't decide if Assetto Corsa won from the hype of the Evo initial beta because it was massive, or they've lost out from. I cannot decide if it worked. Are people disappointed or are people hyped? Like, I can't.
Are people waiting for the new one, not buying the new one? The old one, sorry.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, well, it's gonna be
If
out
it's
of date.
anyone like me, you start turning, and immediately you're like, no. How have you got a Assetto Corsa and ACC, and this is how a Porsche Cup feels?
Sure.
Come on. Like, and why am I at 9 FPS? Why, like, yeah, you just got so many questions. Like, how can this be Kunos's baby that they've been working on? I don't know. I suppose all press is good press.
Moving on to a slightly unusual thing. I don't think we've ever covered this topic before. July the 4th, which is what so here I am being a moron, not
Independence Day.
It's Independence
Freedom
Day.
from the Brits.
I think that's what I was going to say. Independence Day.
We call it Happy Traitors Day. They call it. No, I'm joking.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there quite? I think I saw a meme or something, and it was like, huh. The bloody Brits have to go to work today. Meanwhile, we get a holiday. And it's like, guys, you get like 8 days of holiday a year.
Yeah,
like,
we
have like labour laws and stuff. So I mean, have this one. But no, iRacing did something to celebrate.
Yeah, check this out. This is different. So this was just playing for 4 hours, Sam.
For those who are just listening, this is Bristol circuits, and they have fireworks going off in the
proper
background.
display. You fast forward, right? It's still going. It may have been at the same track. Fast forward a bit more, and we change track.
Yep, we're now at. Do you know what track that is, Charlotte? No, it's not Darlington.
No idea, mate.
It's not.
But I didn't know this was an option in iRacing. Let us do this.
Well, I think you can, right?
What, just watch a firework display? At the end of Daytona, you get a couple.
Does it not go on for very
No,
long?
because like I always joke, if you finish 15th or whatever, by the time you get there, the display's ended.
Sure.
Like, you cross the line, they're like, nah, mate, we've packed up. We're long gone, mate. We ran out of fireworks ages ago. So, yeah, they threw up a 4-hour stream, and it was called Firework ASMR stream.
Some at Sebring. A few of the other ovals.
Look at that.
Anyone who's watched, this says no spoilers for the F1 film, but there's a very good scene in that involving some fireworks at Daytona. I think the best shot of the movie, actually, which looked very cool, which reminded me of this.
I've been there, IRL for Daytona 24 fireworks, and it ain't at the end of the race. It's at midnight when it's dark. They do it, well, not even midnight. I think they just do it when there's people there, basically.
Yeah, that's how it is in the movie, yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
in pitch black, yeah. They do it.
I was just, obviously, iRacing just, it's as you finish, well, as the leader finishes.
Imagine the whining. Well, you know when in Formula 1, the fireworks go off early?
Yeah,
and, like, Gasly in like 14th is like annoyed, and rightly so.
Yeah, because he's in 14th.
Yeah, it's an important position.
The fireworks have caused you no issues, mate. Drive through that and we'll talk about why you're 14th later.
But I think sim racers would, if anything, get even more annoyed if like the fireworks
FPS,
came on midway through the race.
It's like 6 FPS, like, come on, please. 100%, yeah. I mean, especially in the state of sim racing we are now. Look, it doesn't get talked about enough. It's bad, right? We are talking people, and I'm sorry if you've bought one, but people are buying 5090s, right? They're basically enterprise level AI chip, blah, 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 rebranded for gamers who just... It's insane. It's insane. And then they stick them on triple to 1440s, Daytona, 24-hour race, it rains, bit of marbles, and they're at 90 FPS, and they're like, what's happening? It's like, yep, sim racing's in a bad state across the board. Now, obviously, we rightly can moan because we usually run triples. Of course, we're packing more pixels, but we need some innovation. It's bad out there. Like, people are buying NASA PCs just to run Daytona. thousands. Like, you could buy a real car.
Yeah, yeah.
And, yeah, it's getting bad. It wasn't that long ago. The average spend on a GPU would be $450. The average spend. Now the average spend is doubling. Madness. The amount of people I know with GPUs more than my entire PC, insane.
Sure.
Insane. And I'm not moving to 1440 for that reason alone.
Yeah.
I'd rather just get, if people want to increase their pixel resolution, just buy smaller monitors. Seriously. Rather than go up in resolution, go down in size. I promise you, it's the same wing.
Closer.
Closer and smaller. It's the exact same.
Sure.
Exact same to our human eye.
Yeah.
No difference. Got a someone from chat. 9800 X3G, a 48 suitor, yet constant micro stuttering across racetracks. Exactly. And I just got that CPU recently. It's hard out there right now, for sure.
Another game that's going to push that is BeamNG, and they've got a tyre model overhaul. You know a bit more about this than me.
I don't know a lot. Sorry, I'm just trying to mute my PC.
Shall you see this video that we got?
Exactly. I thought we would react. A sneak peek into their tyre physics work. But yes, in partnership with Carlspun, utilising digitally recreated tyre tester.
New York to gain a deeper understanding of how tires work and the physics behind them.
We're very familiar with doing tire performance benchmark programs, such as what we're doing for BeamNG. So we really want to have a deep understanding.
BeamNG are just never going to give up.
Tires that suit the
Like,
different vehicles that are in their
like
platform.
how much money do you think the game? How much is the game on like Steam and stuff? It's not
It's a
very
interesting
expensive, is it?
project with BeamNG to work
But I guess enough
primarily
people are
don't
buying
know.
it
Yeah.
to make it worthwhile.
I'll look into that.
Pointing on the sidewalls to see the deflections. We also have the test plan reaches from static testing.
It's a pretty cool
Heads.
shot, though. It's quite interesting to see the behind the scenes of how these tests are done.
Powering the roadway is a
Yep.
1,400
It's 20
horsepower
quid
electric
on
motor
sale for
and a
15.
Sure.
BeamNG, even when you're doing some pretty extreme maneuvers or very fast steering movements and things like this, we know that the tire model is responding correctly and you're getting an authentic experience. Like
Some nice heat graphs there.
And also the effects of
us to give you really good performance.
And also
in
testing the
really
off-roading
extreme
ability as
situations
well.
Compared to the classical style.
Yeah,
of
it's
tire
insane.
model. Those sorts of
Trying to
tire
find out how much
models
money
kind
they've
of break
made.
down when you
It is
push
possible. Here we go. If we go with Steam Spy, apparently they have. It's not telling me. I will find out how much they're making. You can find it, like an estimation based on sales, based on the price. This says gross revenue of 125 million, 6.6 million units sold.
I mean, that's a lot of units. You think on iRacing in history they've sold just over 1 million.
Yeah, 6.6 million. No wonder they'd not give it up.
Yeah.
They have yachts.
Well, I guess it's the type of thing to which is like you just feel like buying it one day. Like it's not too expensive to.
I own it. I've barely played it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, 125 million, 97.4 positive reviews, 18,000 people active in the last updated 87 minutes ago, 20,000 active players in the last 24 hours. Average playtime for every person, and that's what 6.6 million sold, 91 hours. So I imagine just some wows out there are really helping that number.
Yeah, yanking up the average. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great to see. I mean, it's every time I see this game, whether it's a quality of life visual update or a tire model update or how it works on dirt, I mean, everyone is always very impressed. And it's just one of those games. Like, I've heard this argument over and over and over and over again. Should Kunos have just... Like, because Assetto Corsa got released, and they just released some Ferrari up DLCs, free some other DLCs, and then left it. Modders they added rain, day-night cycles. Should Kunos have just run with it and done a BeamNG and quality of life updates and just kept evolving the game over the years? Sure. Where would it have been today? Because ACC was always just a flash in the pan. It was just for a license, right? It was focused. They got the tracks, they got the cars, they got the permissions. done. But I don't know. A set course always had the numbers. It still has the numbers. But now Evo has to deliver because it's a replacement.
Sure.
I don't know. Perhaps they, what do I know? Hundreds of millions of dollars. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah. Well, because it is like a big, it's a complete different game engine, right?
Yes.
Compared to the original. So
yeah,
I guess in that sense, sort of, it's difficult to evolve something when, you're basically rebuilding it. So maybe that was the logic. Spa 24 is coming up this weekend. How are you feeling about it?
I am ready. Obviously, we're just living through the bops right now. There's the second bop dropped late yesterday. Sorry, iRacing, late. Very late.
Has it changed your car choice?
No, it's hurt our car choice. Look, my wife asked me this question. Why does it seem that your car always gets hit the most? And I had a simple answer. I picked the best car.
Yeah.
So, of course, the car I'm in always gets hit the most every special event because we picked the best car. I mean, it seems stupid not to. But we're still going to stick with it. We're just not OP, but we are prepped.
Sure.
So we're going to focus on our consistency. And it's a long race. But there's no rain, not a drop. And do you want to know what's funny? The forums were alight with people complaining. You cannot win. How is this realistic? It's Belgium.
Yeah, people have... So, of course, we need to remember people are thick. And they don't realise that it doesn't actually rain that much. Like, if you looked outside of a window for a year, it doesn't actually rain that much. It rains more in our heads because when it does rain, you think, oh, it's raining.
Sure.
When it's not raining, it's not. So, like, for example, here in Corby, we don't get much rain. In Wales, it gets 5 times more rain than what Corby does, for example.
Gotcha, yeah.
So, like, you can imagine in our heads, we're thinking, oh, it's raining 1 in 5 times. So in Wales, then it must be raining constantly. But, like, yeah, it just doesn't rain. So having a 24 hours where it's completely dry is totally realistic. I'm not sure what the stats are in terms of previous year, but it's in the middle of the summer as well. So, yeah. I can look at the forecast, actually. Spa forecast over the next few days in real life.
Yeah, I was trying to find if anyone's told, like... It's a good way of you wording it. I want to know the % chance of rain, period. Like, over a year, what is the % of the amount of rain? Like, is it 1% of the year too? Like, I want to...
What, in terms of, like, time?
Time.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're right, rain doesn't... Like, when it rains and it rains during the day and it ruins your day, it may have only rained an hour.
Yeah.
And in your head, you're like, rained, ruined... it rained today.
And the forecast always has, a Sunday rain cloud. But
sure.
Actually, on Sunday, it's only 25% at the peak.
At peak, yeah, exactly.
So, like, it looks like, oh, that's a rainy day. It's raining all day. But actually, it's probably going to rain 15% of that day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The one thing I just wish never came to iRacing was a lot of rain. Intensity, sorry. Because IRL, it's red flag. Don't even get me started on F1. Stop. Stop. Drivers may get wet. Leclerc may get wet. We need to stop. Absolute joke. Absolute pinnacle of motor racing.
Did you disagree about that on Sunday?
100%.
But they can't see anything.
Slow down. Build a bigger gap to the car in front. Build a gap to the car in front.
But and that's an entertaining race.
It's not a show. It's a race. If you do not know how to get visibility in the rain, and it didn't occur to you, like, who was it?
But what happens if a
Bortoletto.
car crashes, bounces into the middle of the circuit, and then someone T-bones them?
All right, yeah, but
I was 5 seconds behind. I should have left more of a gap.
If we did what ifs, we wouldn't go motor racing.
So you're saying?
No, come on. If we did,
let's take away the halo because
No.
Maybe someone would have.
We have to learn for sure. We didn't get anywhere near wet tyres. Anywhere near. Yes,
no, we did get near. But the teams now are at the point where they know a red flag is going to be called. So they're like, we're not going to waste 20 seconds changing tyres here.
It's insane
because
to me.
we know it's going to get red flagged in a half.
No,
lap
they red flagged, and halfway through the red flag, it's sunny, no rain. It was embarrassing.
Well, they should have put it under VSC. I agree. They shouldn't have put it under safety car. They should have put it under VSC.
Drivers should at least make an active job of building visibility. What was it? Bortoletto just said he couldn't claim, but just decided to throttle. Like, I'll brake late. I can't see, so I'll just late brake this corner. Whoever it was, maybe it was
Hadjar.
Maybe.
But I don't think he was braking that late. I think.
I'm sorry, it's embarrassing that drivers assume it, or any people assume that this is about going as fast as you can. You have to finish a race. If you cannot see, lift. And then that spray, guess what, will drop. And now you can see.
Yeah, but...
Insane to me. Insane to me. I'm sorry.
Let us know in chat. I thoroughly disagree with David on this one, but let us know in chat.
I do agree with safety. Don't get me wrong, I'm 100% aboard of safety, but they made no active attempt to build safety.
But you could argue that you should take away a lot of the safety elements, because if you crash, you should be driving slower.
No, that's not what
You'd
I mean.
Be like,
no,
well, you break your legs because we haven't got
mean.
any like structural integrity to these cars. You should have just driven slower.
No, they're basically saying from 7/10 back, it's now dangerous. Yeah. It is, because you're in their spray. Have you dropped back like 4/10? I promise. It will look like it ain't raining.
Massive armchair expert. So, I don't think but I think, I don't know, it'd be interesting if we, because I think the rain in real life is way worse than what we see in the simulator, right? And we don't drive single-seaters in the sim.
Sure.
We drive...
No, I'm sure it's difficult, but these are the best.
Oh, there you go. You conceded that it's difficult. End of discussion. That's as far as you're going to go. You're going to use the words "it's difficult."
Yeah. I am for safety for sure. We need, if it is this way, it needs addressing, not a 1% improvement a year, because it's getting silly.
But they're trying, but the problem is the floor, because they tried the covers over the wheels, but then they found that all the spray comes from under the floor apparently, and they basically don't know how to fix it. So
roof over the track.
So there's no rain?
No, you control it from sprinklers.
Oh, okay, sure. You want a dome?
A dome, yeah.
Simpsons movie style.
Yeah, how expensive can that be?
Sure.
Moving on.
Well, not really moving on, is it?
Similar subject then.
Yep.
Christian Horner fired from Red Bull.
This isn't really sim racing news, but we may as well talk
about
it.
Well, Red Bull Redline, it's not that much of a stretch.
Yeah, I guess Red Bull have a esports team.
Yeah. At the Esports World Cup, which is currently on right now.
Sure. Yeah,
so not a stretch at all. We had to talk about it. He's not like, this isn't a typical team principal firing. It cannot be compared to that. He's not. He is a team principal. He's also the CEO.
Sure.
Let's not beat around the bush. And he's not a recent CEO. He's a CEO that bought the team from Jaguar. He's a CEO that signed, I don't know, Vettel and Verstappen. And yeah, I mean, obviously I could list a million mistakes, but what have we got? 6 constructors titles, 8 drivers titles.
I do find it odd that maybe this would change, but he's not talked about in the same regard as Frank Williams and
insane
Von Dennis.
Because
even though that he probably achieved success faster than what those team managers did.
Yeah, it was very impressive. I mean, even Hamilton, not one of his biggest regrets, a big regret of Hamilton's career, he says, is saying the quote about Red Bull, it's just an energy drink company.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's even robust that, he was saying it in the light that he's a Mercedes driver, he was bigging up Mercedes, but obviously he is mega impressed of what Red Bull have achieved. But yeah, I mean, it's love or hate Christian Horner. He is if F1 to show, he's one of the main characters.
Yeah.
Like, I have massive respect for him and everything he did for Red Bull. I mean, I can't even name someone who's achieved like what he has with the background Red Bull had. But then to go on and all right, if we're struggling with bad engines, let's just build our own. How hard can it be?
Sure. Well, let's complain about it for 5 years and then build our own.
Yeah.
Or we'll get it from Honda.
Yeah.
But no, that was a good call from them in the end to ditch Renault when they did. Yeah. And I think just a really good guy when it came to the team mentality, the us versus them.
Sure.
And sorts of well, not being, he wasn't obsessed with making them feel like, making Red Bull seem like they were the good guys. Maybe in the early years they were the underdogs.
Sure.
But like in recent years they have been the enemy. And yet I think he's still done a good job at almost, I don't know, maybe making them feel like they're victims. But I think that's a good way of motivating a team to work harder.
Yeah,
I think he's very good at that side.
I mean, he's navigated so many eras. Like, it's hard to remember. Like, obviously, he got Vettel up to his peak, and then we had the whole... what was the change that Vettel couldn't stand? Not the underfloor.
Well, it was the V6
hybrid turbo era. Yeah, he's gone through so many eras.
When he started, they were doing V10s.
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
V10s,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, he was instrumental in the Jaguar purchase. That's feels like an insane time ago.
I was 4 when he started, so yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, he's had some downsides, like picking a #1 driver. Never been he's very good at picking a #1 driver. He's had Vettel, he's had Danny Rick, he's had Verstappen. He's had some serious picking a #2 driver. He may go down as the worst.
Well, I think Frank Williams' driver selection.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he was the all-time worst. How you end up with
Frank Williams didn't have the money, and like Red Bull could have attracted anyone. That was the difference.
Well, Frank Williams was very good at. Well, again, I'm not an expert on this, but he was very good at convincing his very good drivers to leave the team with Prost and Mansell, and somehow they lost Hill.
But it is amazing. Every time someone has a strangely good race, we're worried they're going to end up like. Everyone's worried. No, Hulkenberg, don't do it, mate. Resist.
Sure.
I know it sounds like a really good idea, but you've survived this long because you avoided Red Bull. Don't do it, mate.
Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah.
Like Hadjar, he had a couple of good races, and everyone's thinking, mate, please, anywhere, don't do it.
But I don't think... So I know a lot of people sort of assign that to because they built the car around Verstappen. I don't subscribe to sort of that idea that you build a car around a driver.
I don't either.
The engineers look at like a front wing and they're like, how can we get 10% more downforce from that? And the fact that it just happens to be... It's like Marc Marquez for years, he was the only one who could ride a Honda. Again, it was just how the Honda was.
Sure.
It's not because they were building the car.
Yeah, Max is instrumental in the development path on the pursuit of whether it be rear, front, downforce. Like, of course, he's instrumental in deciding what the direction is. But yeah, I mean, I just think I love the interview with Albon. That sticks with me because obviously we didn't really know. But once Albon completely broke tires, he had that interview and he was very, impressed with Red Bull and the way they run it and the car. But he said the car was something else to drive. It's like nothing. He was like, imagine playing a driving game, going into the driver settings and cranking sensitivity and everything to 100. Everything. Like, just crank everything to front sensitivity. He said, and that's how Max likes it. Albon's almost like, you are fearful of turning.
Yeah.
And that's how Max likes it. Right on the nose.
But, of course, as the second driver, you don't have to do that. You can do your own thing.
Sure.
You can set up the car.
Sure, no, but if the philosophy of the way the car's been designed is to get the maximum out of it from being sensitive, having understeer could induce a whole, like,
Maybe.
Mechanically could just be a baddish car. Sure. Because we see that. We did see a Perez, not domination, but super impressive, was it 5 races? And Max was crying on the radio about understeer. And Perez is like flying, like thinking, oh my God, I have a fast Red Bull car that I can turn with. Sure. And Verstappen's obviously like, this is, you can just see him like, please help. Like, I don't know what to do. But no, for example, we don't know. We hear words and the commentators and the narrative and the story and the Netflix, but we will never know.
Yeah. Even the engineers often don't know what's going on with their own car.
Sure, yeah. I mean, 10 degrees higher track temp and their engines, like Mercedes had that period where they're like, if the temp's higher, we're slow.
Yeah, well, they're in that period. Yeah. We're like, if it's below 20 degrees track temperature, we're the fastest. If it's above that, we're 6th fastest, maybe. We're like equal pace to a Sauber.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. They've got the new guy in from Raging Bulls.
Yeah, Mekis.
Yeah.
That's dumb, in my opinion.
Well,
you just go... this guy from a completely different team, he's been doing all right. Let's get him in the team. It's like,
well, I don't know if he's interim.
I don't know if he's from the team.
Yeah, I don't know if he's an interim.
But even so, that's dumb if that in that case because it derails the other RB.
Well, I think the season is called Derailed, mate.
It's not for RB are doing all right.
True. But yeah,
Bull,
this season is called Derailed. They've got to focus on next season.
Yeah, coming for a very boring fourth.
For them, it's a long way off.
Yeah. And of course, very pleased that Hulkenberg did well at the weekend. So
everyone, we all agreed on something for the same time.
Yeah. I haven't seen a single dissenting comment.
No.
Of someone going, oh, actually, I wish he didn't, because there's no bad. He's never done anything bad. Like he's literally not got any blots on his resume. He's just,
well, blowing big opportunities. We always call him unlucky, but he has floundered some bigs in his fast.
Yeah, but obviously now you can't say that.
Nope.
So yeah.
Do you know who now is
Adrian Sutil?
What was I going to say?
The most podiums without scoring.
Right, yeah, but do you know who an active driver is who's highest?
Tsunoda, yeah.
Correct, yeah. So Tsunoda's flying
90, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go, but he's only going to move up that order.
Yeah.
Sutil, isn't. So yeah. Hopefully we don't see. I like Tsunoda, but he looks awful in a Red Bull.
Yeah. Moving on, we've got a couple of clips from Apex Racing TV. It was a very entertaining GT3 Trophy round on Tuesday. Do you remember the driver, Marcello Caserta?
Of course, yeah.
What's going on? Let's see if this. So this is Marcello Caserta. He was, I think, just on the outskirts of the top 10, and he has a spin. So that's one bad thing. And then we go 2 more corners. And he crashes again.
Oof.
And then we go down a straight. 25 seconds. And he finishes it off.
Something wrong in the setup, or?
The worst half lap of his life.
And was that early in the race, or late?
No, it was about half an hour in. It was halfway through the race. And yeah, he just could not drive for some reason. This was very fun. So it was... So actually, here's an interesting question for you. You've been driving... Spa quite a bit. So we had this format. It was 75-minute race.
Oh no!
Half tank for full capacity. So you had to make 2 pit stops.
So
in that situation, would you take tyres?
75 minutes of Spa. What was the temp?
I think it was sort of 30, 35.
No, not
See,
75.
That's the.
Because you barely can survive pit exit with that bump. If you hit the bump coming... Are you on the endurance layout?
No.
Okay, I only know the endurance layout for all the prep, but, I mean, cold tyres are... They're cold... So, cold tyres, what they start qualifying in and what they start the rolling start in, typically is around 45 degrees. If you put on fresh tyres, they're 35.
Right, okay.
Because you don't get the pre-warmed simulation of the formation lap. Really tricky. Right, show me.
Yes, so this was just a very close battle for the lead. Basically, whoever came out of the pits in front.
How close is that?
Wow.
Let's get a natural angle of it. Apologies. Oh, they're so close. They almost make contact.
And they managed to get through. But I think we get a replay of it in a second.
Here we go.
I mean, obviously, you sort of merge and then you keep merging, but then once you
unmerge,
you can...
And then that was the lead.
I assume none of them took tyres.
So none of them took tyres apart from the guys who were leading near the start, which were the core sim racing guys, Nurmi and...
Oh, Miko.
And his teammate, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Miko Nurmi. And they ended up finishing like 4th and 5th. But there was one more clip, because it was a very entertaining finish.
I saw Miko mention he made a mistake. Maybe it was the tyres.
So your Tortoise was leading, but he was really struggling with his tyres towards the end. So the only one who's had fresh tyres was Palic. He was the other one who took tyres, but they were still pretty old by this point in the race. And this is the last lap of the race.
Yeah, I raced your Tortoise this week. I assume this is bop 3.
This is bop 3, yeah. Oh, this isn't very useful. Sorry. got an ad. But we will get through it. I think I have like an ad blocker installed on this laptop, which I didn't install, and it doesn't really help. Anyway.
Has done enough. Steinhoff looks inside. I think he's just
And this is the Vatsal at the end. Your Tortoise managed to get through. The others did not.
Goes round and more go round.
Anders Meyer. Shame.
Your Tortoise managed to win.
But yeah, I mean, you really, really don't want fresh tyres unless you have to.
Yeah.
Unless you are being made to. They're just, you cannot compete out there on track. If you go side by side with someone, how are you going to just, it's too hard.
I think the guys who took tyres lost about 4 seconds in the first 2 laps
it's insane.
of taking them. So yeah, it was not worth it. But yeah, very good race. Once again, shout out to Apex Racing League Endurance 2025. You can sign up over at apexracingleague.com, link in the description below, and take one of the remaining 9 spots on the grid in the GTP, LMP2 or GTD classes. That's all the notes that we had. Anything more you wanted to say?
No, I think that's everything. Yeah, I mean, let us know next week if you go. Well, when's Goodwood? 13th.
Yeah, it's this weekend.
Spa 24. Otherwise, I would. I loved it a couple of years ago. I really did. It's fun.
Yeah.
But no, I think we're good. Yeah, till next week, right? And
yeah.
we've got tonight. We've got Porsche Cup.
We have got Porsche Cup. Oschersleben, which I've never commentated at. So.
Commentated. You almost said you almost.
It was because you were saying Oschersleben and I.
Commentating.
I have never commentated at Oschersleben before, but this is a good opportunity to.
I don't think I have. I haven't either.
You know the layout.
I do. It's been a while, but no, it's one of the newer tracks that I did actually buy and learn, and then never attend.
And then it became free.
Yes, exactly.
So I look forward to that one. Of course, so yeah, subscribe to the channel. Check out the next episode of the podcast. We'll be back next Thursday, and of course, check it out on Spotify and anywhere else that you stream your podcasts. And of course, check out the Apex Racing TV social medias as well. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and from David Sampson, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you back next time.
Ciao.